Okay, ladies and gents, thanks to everyone who's joined us here tonight. We've got a good crew on board for the 40K to 400K formula workshop. And this is where we help ecom founders build out their fast path plan to more consistent Shopify orders. A few things we like you to do. We're going to be here for about an hour. So obviously the more focused and attentive you are, the more you're going to get out of this. We'd love you to be seen. We'd love to see your beautiful faces and not the black squares of death on Zoom. But we understand if you're driving or otherwise occupied, you can't have your camera on, and please do have a chat. So find the chat function if you haven't already. We'll be chatting to you as we go through tonight's presentation. And tonight we're going to go through and give you three things to leave with, but ultimately one really big idea, and that's how to generate more orders in your business by converting more browsers into buyers. Right, this is a big bottleneck for a lot of ecom founders. How do I get more of the traffic that comes to my website to actually buy from me? So that's the main lens we're going to be looking through tonight. As we look through that lens, we're going to assess some websites, we're going to do some audits and help you identify what's broken so that you can see what's broken in your business by identifying what's broken in others, and we'll help you leave with a plan. You'll leave with actionable steps, tools, and toolkits that you can action in the next 30, 90, 60, 90 days to actually grow your business and not be overwhelmed by the thousands of things you possibly could be doing. A lot of people that jump on these calls and people that we work with inside of the e-commerce circle ask a question in one of these three flavors of this question of, will this work for me? Right? And this tends to be, will it work in my niche? Will it work at my size? Will it work now? And the short answer is yes. Yes, yes, and yes, right? We work with 200 plus ecom brands inside the e-commerce circle. We've met thousands of brands at this point, and the stuff that we teach works in every possible niche you could imagine. It works at all sizes, where, as we saw, a lot of you are in pre-launch, a lot of you are going to be launching, you're early on. Some of you might be doing millions of dollars a month. Right? The stuff that we teach is principle based, and it scales based on the size of your business, and it's actionable stuff that's actually working now. All of our people are live working inside of e-commerce businesses today in December of 2025. So if you're on this call, this is likely for you. There's probably a reason that you found us, and we're grateful that you are here. But the type of people that tend to come to these calls that we get to work with are people that are passionate, right? You've got that product, you had an idea, you want to make an impact for a certain type of person, but you just don't have that clear step-by-step plan of how to make it happen. But you know that if you had those right moves, you could actually make this business really work. And because of that, you're probably overwhelmed. And you're overwhelmed because you're going onto the internet and you're looking at all the gurus and you're watching 4,000 TikToks and Reels and YouTubes and all of the stuff, and you're getting all of this information, which we call infobesity, right? You just get full of information. And because there's so many different opinions and so many different things you could do, you end up not doing anything. And then you come back here a year later and you still haven't implemented anything into your business. So we're going to reduce that overwhelm here tonight for you so that you can make more money in your business. And that's the third type of person that this is for. The type of business owner that actually built their business so that they could have a better lifestyle, right? They could improve the world for their kids or their dogs or their family or themselves, right? Not just to become a collection engine for the ATO. Don't want to just be paying your suppliers and your team. You actually want to keep some money for yourself as the founder to finance your lifestyle. And that's probably a lot of you on the call started your businesses to increase your lifestyle freedom to some degree. So we're going to help you keep more of the money that you make. And you should listen to us, to myself and Paul and our team, because we don't teach theory, right? We don't just teach stuff that's random. We don't teach fly-by-night ideas. We teach by experience and practice over 25 plus years in business and marketing and e-com specifically. Paul built Warcom. If you haven't heard of the world famous Paul Warren, he built Warcom, which was one of the first e-com businesses in Australia in the tech space. He started that in 1997 and eventually sold about 40 mil worth of products, and ultimately sold that business to an ASX listed company in 2014. So if it happens in e-com, Paul's been there, seen it, and bought the t-shirt online. And as part of that process of growing Warcom, Paul built the Insightful agency essentially to service himself for his marketing to grow that agency. And Insightful now builds 200 plus e-commerce Shopify websites a year. And that's where a lot of our high conversion frameworks and insights come from, is building these things time and time and time again. So as I said, in 25 years of ecom, been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. So that gives us the capability of looking at your business and knowing what's around the corner for you, right? We know the signs, we know the signals, we know where you're going. We can see what the next best thing for you to do is, because we've been there, right? We know the journey, we know what's coming up for you, so we can give you that advice to lead you in the right direction. And even though this is stuff that was practiced decades ago, the funny thing is this is still the stuff that works today, right? 25 years later, the marketing practices, the marketing principles I learned in university 20 years ago, 25 years ago, still work today. The stuff Paul implemented inside of Holdcom still works today. It's because these are principles, these are time-tested, battle-proven, and they work time and time and time again. And when we implement these systems into the businesses that we work with, they get results like this. Some brands hit their first $100,000 years, and that's massive for them. They hit their first 10K month. They hit their first 100K month and have their first $1 million year. Some even scaling to $1 million months and $1 million weeks. And it's all based on this same system, this same principles that we implement into these businesses. Businesses like Holdcom, run by the awesome Steve, and he does a OEM, kind of custom OEM Holden parts, Commodore parts. So when Steve joined us, he was doing okay. He was doing sort of 160, 170K months, but he had a 12-month goal of growing to 250K months. Now, we changed a couple things in his business, right? We fixed some messaging, tidied up some market positioning, some brand voice, improved some ROAS on his ads, but didn't like rebuild the entire business, right? We didn't go, you need to change everything that you're doing. We pulled a few key levers, and within 4 months, Steve actually hit his 12-month goal, and he's now sailing past 260K months. Along that way, he had a record a week. He had a $13,000 day and a $60,000 week, and he's continuing to scale. But the important thing is we implemented this system into his business, and it's a system that doesn't reconfigure the entire business, right? Just changes a few key things, which we're going to show you tonight. So obviously we are here, and this is a free workshop that we run every week. So why do we do this? Why do we give our time? Why do we run these free workshops? It's because we're looking for our next client success stories, right? We want to stick your face on our next client slide like this, our next case study. Stick your face on there, stick your Shopify store in there, and tell the world about how amazing you came, and you're doing 10K a month, and now you're doing 100K a month, and life's good, and you're successful in your business. And that's because our mission is to help people, right? So that's why we run these workshops. And our promise for this workshop is that it will be incredibly valuable for you. You'll have takeaways you can implement into your business. And that will be the case whether we ever hear from you again or not. Obviously, we'd love to work with all of you. We'd love to spend our time with you. We'd love to learn more about your businesses. But if we did that tonight and we spent time with every single person here, let me just check how many people, we'd be here for probably about 26 plus hours. And as much as we all love you and you love us, we probably don't have a day and a bit to spend together because we got life and we like to sleep and these sorts of things, right? So because of those time constraints, at the end of the workshop tonight, we will have an offer for those of you that would like to work a bit closer with us, get more of that personal assistance. So in lieu of that, can I get a quick raise of hands? And you can drop this in the chat. Just drop me a thumbs up or a hell yeah or a yes, please in the chat if it would be okay with you if we share a bit of an offer with you later on this evening. You can drop me an emoji. You can drop me a Y, a yes. Nice thumbs up, Carrie. Love it. Chris is in. Chris is always in. Caroline is in. Awesome. Caroline, sorry. Monica, Christy, thank you, thank you. Awesome, gang. Appreciate it. Okay, so where are you in your journey? Whilst you're in the chat, keep your fingers on the keys, because most people that we meet are in one of these four places, right? You're in startup. Some of you, as we found out tonight, probably even pre-startup, right? So you're in that 0 to kind of 10K a month. You're starting to feel your way through, make your first few sales, figuring out how to use Shopify. Maybe you're in setup, you've sort of got a few things, you've got your hero products, you're starting to sell things, understand how things work, maybe starting to generate some ads. Or you're in grow up or scale up where things are really starting to work, your marketing's running, your platform's crushing, and you're really starting to get things going. So just let us know in the chat. Are you startup, setups, grow up, or scale up? Or if you're pre-launch or pre-startup, you can let us know that as well. But, startup we consider $0 as well, right? So you haven't made your first sale yet. Pre-startup, startup, grow up. Okay, nice. Good, good. Some pre-startups, some startups, fantastic. Startup, good. A lot of people in the same place. Excellent. Sales to startup stage, great. Cool. Thank you, everybody. So when we met Paul and Delane, they were pretty much in startup mode, really, right? And sort of set startup, scale up. They were doing $11,000 to $12,000 months, bit inconsistent. They've been fairly well burnt by an agency. Some of you may resonate with that. Spending $8,000 to get $8,000 back and calling it a win. But they had amazing business. They're an amazing couple. Unfortunately, they weren't able to work in the business together because they, as again, probably some of you here are having, you've got to have a side job to fund the business. But amazing product, really great couple. They do Australia's cleanest collagen and protein. So if you want really good collagen, go check Nature's Pantry Supplies out. They do really good deals on collagen. So we met Paul and Delane, and they were 11, 12K months and facing all of those issues, but wanting to grow with a really good product. And again, we came along, applied our principles, applied a framework, and built out a new website, improved their targeting and their messaging, refined a few things, pulled a few of the key levers, but yeah, again, didn't rebuild the business, didn't change everything, focused on a few things. Okay, and now they're doing, I think last month they finally cracked their first 100K month. So they've been doing consistent 95, 96K months for the last quarter or so, and they finally cracked their first 100K month last month or the month before. So massive change from 11, 12 grand months, and that was 6 to 8 months ago. It wasn't that long ago. So they've come a long way. They're now both able to work in the business together, and things are going great guns for them. So again, while you're in the chat, how do you think it is that we get results like this, like Steve, like Nature's Pantry? Is building these businesses helping clients grow? Monica's on it. It's probably magic, Monica. You're probably on it. Is it luck? Is it magic? Is it a system? How do you think we generate these results? Monica's almost said it's like a lucky, is it lucky magic? Do we just happen to meet people that are already going to get where they're going and then we just screen grab their Shopify results? A system, know what you're doing. Yeah, some people are on it. We've got a fairly smart crew in here tonight, systematic. That's right. It is a system. And it's this specific system. It's the system that we call the more orders model that looks something like this beautiful triangle here on your screen. And as you can see, there are 3 sides to this. And these are the 3 big levers that I talk about in our case study, right? These are the 3 levers that we pulled in each of those businesses to help them start to grow and scale and move in the right direction. And these are the 3 levers that we pull in every business that we meet before we do anything else. So we're going to play a little bit of a hangman, a bit of a game. And I want you guys to guess what these things are. And if you've been here before, don't give away the surprise to all the new people. But if you haven't been here before, what do you think these 3 things are? And I will give you some hints along the way. But we're going to sales, important, but not one of these. And so these ones have 5 letters each, and this has 8 letters. So it's not so. I mean, sales is obviously important, but we don't go in and fix sales, right? These are the actual things that we fix to generate more sales. I'm going to give you a bit more of a hint. Shipping. I'm going to give you a body for that because it's not quite right, but technically, yes, that would fit. These all start with st. So we've got st, and st. What do you think these 3 things are? These are the things that we would fix that most people have broken, that aren't fully optimized, that need some work. Or Donna, Okay, Donna's onto it. Good job, Donna. This one is your store. Start, Doug. No, I'm going to give you an arm for that. So store, this one is stock as well, and this one is
Stock.
stock. Important, but no. I'm going to give you another arm for that. It's stock. We're running out of limbs, people. Start. This is also your story. Well done, Elena. Good job. I'll give him a happy face for store. And finally, down here, this is your.
Strategy.
Hey, well done. Well done, everyone. We saved this bloke. Did pretty well tonight. Smart crew on tonight. Thank you. You saved this guy from his imminent demise. Let me just delete all my little drawings. So, thank you. Those are all correct. This is your store, your story, and your strategy. And these are the three aspects of our more orders model. Your store is all about conversion, right? This is about having a high converting website. This is about having a website that turns more browsers into buyers, right? More people hit your website, they have a great experience, and more of them check out and make you more sales. Your story is a big aspect of why people shop with you and why they check out, because you're sending compelling brand messaging, you're speaking to them in the right language with the right words, and you're connecting with the right buyer, and you're letting them know that they're in the right place. They're about to solve a problem that they've got. You actually know the problem that they have, so they trust you, right? All of these things is how you connect with your customer. And a large part of that for the types of business that a lot of you are running is your story, your founder story, your reason why you started the business, what makes you different. All of this stuff factors into your story, and we get that story onto your store, and it helps you convert better. And then the final part of this puzzle is what we call the strategy. And this is how you take control of your business, right? And you turn the chaos of not having a strategy into the control of having a strategic approach to doing the right thing at the right time in the right order, right? And that's a very important part, the right order. Doing the wrong thing at the wrong time is still the wrong thing. So you don't want to be going and running ads, for example, to a busted website. If the website's at 0.05% conversion rate and you spend thousands of dollars a month sending traffic to it, you're kind of burning those dollars because the store's not made to convert in the first place. So that's why we want a strategy that gives you that step-by-step process of what to do when in the right order. So we're now going to dive into a bit of interaction here on the call tonight. We're going to audit a few stores based on the more orders model. We're going to look at your store and how well it converts. We're going to look at your story and how well it connects to a specific type of buyer and informs them about the journey they're about to go on. And we'll have a look a little bit at the strategy, and we'll give you the strategy of what you need to do to actually move your business forward. So we've had a few people drop into the site. Paul, Chris, have you got a few people chosen for tonight that we're going to take a look at?
Yeah,
Got
yeah,
some
completely got
preferences in there?
definitely got a couple. Up to Paul, which one he wants to do
Yeah,
first.
yeah, we'll do Car. Is it Carrie? Sorry, did you say Chris? Carrie?
Carrie,
Carrie. Got it.
Carrie,
Nailed.
you can unmute and
Nailed.
speak for me.
Nice.
Got. All right.
Okay, so Paul's going to get ready, and we're going to run through. Once we've looked at the more orders model, we're going to go through what we call the fast path plan. And this is really the strategy part, right? This is letting you know, fix what's broken. So stuff that you're doing that's actually broken, building stuff you don't have yet, right? Maybe you don't have an email system, and you probably need to build an email system and growing what works. Maybe you're already doing some stuff that already works. This is what we call the fast path plan. And this is what we're going to help some people here build out live on the call today. So I'm going to stop screen sharing here. I'm going to let Paul take over, and we'll dive into this fast path plan using the more orders model for some folks.
All right. Don't stop yapping yet because you got to help me with this one because as we are talking before, this one's going to be an interesting one. So Carrie, do you want to give us a quick introduction into your brand when you start? I mean, we all had a look through your site before as well, and like your artwork's beautiful and so forth. And we're like, we need to figure out the unique brand message and so forth that's going on. But I'd like to hear it from you first, if that's cool.
So probably what's most unique about me is that my artwork is produced digitally. So I'm a designer by background. I've worked as a brand designer for 20 years. But all my work is basically like a digital collage. So there's a lot of artists out there that are selling prints, but most of them have started as paintings, whereas mine are produced purely to be prints. So yeah, they're sort of like digital reconstructions of photography, and yeah, I've got a fairly unique style which sort of sets me apart. But that's basically what I sell. I've only had this site live for maybe I think about 2 months, and I've been running ads for about a month, and that's it. Yeah. So, and I've had some sales, but yeah, I'm just looking to make sure my website is strong enough. I've built this myself mostly with a little bit of help from a developer, but I want to make sure that I'm optimizing as best as possible because I do want to scale. So
you can tell you're a designer.
Yeah, the guys and I were talking before, and we said, like, you've done a beautiful job. Like, font choices are fantastic, and the way things lay out are beautiful, and the artwork's amazing, and it's super nice to see. Even photography is fantastic. Like, some people go, here's my artwork, and it's just a boring background, and it's not in, So I think, though, when we talk about brand messaging, there was still something missing, and I just couldn't put my finger on what it was earlier today. Because, I mean, it's not like you go, hey, we sell pet beds for aging pets that have arthritis, and no one else sells this type of pet bed that we sell, right? Art is very, very subjective, So
it's a hard thing to explain too simply, I think.
It is too. And because if you don't explain your message to the right segment of the market, then effectively you're marketing to the wrong segment of the market, right? So, for example, you don't want to be putting selling art online that is a $30,000 piece and having a photo in like a crappy room, and you got to have it in like a certain type of room, and you go, little things like that make such a massive difference. Yeah, like, definitely. I was looking at your pricing and stuff before, and I'm like, okay, it starts at like $1,600 and it goes all the way up to $2,000. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much in the ballpark. And then I'm like, is the photography and stuff like placing it in the right environment to begin with? So again, this is not brand messages. This is just me thinking out loud. Like, that piece of furniture there is probably like what, a $20,000 table or something, right? Potentially 10 grand, 20 grand. So I was trying to bring it all the way back and go, are we saying, is everything in the right spot for firstly? And how are we communicating who we're trying to sell to? So let me go back a little bit and go to the homepage, because what should be happening as soon as you land on the homepage is on here, and I'm going to draw on the screen because this is what we're working with. But like, effectively, we've got what's called a H1 tag, right? And a H2 tag. And now a H1 tag is meant to make a promise to your audience when they land on your website. So people instantly land on there, and say, for example, they landed on Doug's website, and Doug's like, we make custom chopping boards out of reclaimed timber, and it's sourced from wherever it's sourced from. Everyone goes, cool, I'm in the right spot. And then that's supported by a H2, right? So a H2 is a heading 2 tag, and that second sentence. Oh, hang on. I'm getting feedback from Andy or something. Yeah, the H2 supports the H1. So we need to really go, what is your H1 and what is your H2? And then the reason we do that as well is because, as I mentioned, you're making a promise. So people, as they read it, they go, oh, tick in their mind, right? And they go, I'm here for that reason. And then number to page 2, I'm here for that reason, right? Yeah. And then the more compliance we get out of people as they read the brand messaging on your website, the more likely they are to buy, right? So we're going to try and do this. It's going to be super hard to do this on the fly with art, but we'll try. But before I get into that, like, even down here, we'd probably need to have like 4 or 5 more boxes. And inside of here, they're going to be more pieces of brand messaging where people read them and they also go like, yes, 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 yes. Because a lot of your audience is going to come from Facebook, and they've probably never heard of you before. They're like super cold, right? And if you're running cold traffic to people on Facebook or Google Ads or whatever, like, there is a warm-up process they've got to go through to actually go, oh, I know who she is and I know what she makes. But if that doesn't happen, we have to make that occur instantly on the website. So those things that need to occur are things like, how do we build trust? How do we show social proof? how do we show exclusivity? How do we show limited stuff? How do we show that like you're a designer in Australia that's doing this, right? So, for example, and these are far from perfect, but
Yeah.
you know, you would have like, I mean, most people buy art because they go, I want it to be a limited piece potentially, right? So I'm not buying something that there's 500,000 of them sitting in Kmart, whatever, right? You know, you go, oh, she's only got 10 of these. They go, all right, something like that. It's a limited edition piece. It is, I would imagine things like the colors being true would be very important to your audience. So they go, if it's a certain type of pink, like I need it to be that certain type of pink because it's going to match the couch and it's going to match the curtains and it's going to match the other things in a really high spec home, potentially. That's if like an interior designer or someone's buying from you. So potentially you'd have something like, you know, color through guarantee. You would definitely have something like, you know, 1,000 plus or however many you've got, 500 plus 5-star reviews, right? So instantly you go, oh,
Yeah.
you will in time.
Yeah.
So, you know, 5-star reviews. Jump in here, Chris McLean, at any point in time if you've got any. You don't want things like, you know, secure checkout. You don't want easy returns. You don't want framing made simple. You don't want printed to order. You really need the messages that you say to people. So, like, if I was to call you and I need 3 pieces, one for the lounge room, one for my wife's office, and I'd be like, what should I buy from you? Like, help me out here. Well, what would you say to me other than the fact that like it's designed to order and so forth? Make it sound really good, and we'll work on this together.
Oh God, now you're putting me on the spot. I guess it's just that my art is very unique. I think, you know, oh God, you're really putting me on the spot. I was going to say everything is made to order, and that is a bonus because I do sell limited edition and open edition, and I've actually moved to open edition for good reasons. But the fact that it's made to order means that it's not a mass-produced item. So your pieces are made for you to your size, to your choice. You know, you buy an artwork from an artist who's painted it, you get it in one format, whereas you can choose your frame, you can choose your size. So there is choice.
Okay, I like that. That's good. Yep. Made for you. That whole made for you in your size is there's something in that, you know. So I'm like, oh, I need something that's 2 meters wide for this room, and I need something that's like 1.5 meters for that room.
Yeah. And I've custom-sized anything as well. So even though there's a certain number of sizes, if someone came to me and said, I need a print that's this size, I'd go bang, done. Send that to my printers. Yeah.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So somehow, and we're probably not going to nail it on this call, but we're going to show you how to do this for like a less complicated brand. But we need to nail that in your H1. So for me now that I heard you say that, I'm like, okay, cool, that's good. I can actually get whatever I want made for any room and whatever color and and it's limited. And I'm like, she's super creative, and everyone's going to go fantastic. Because what we're trying to do, again, when I buy it, I read the H1 again. I just go, yep, and that's good. And then I read the H2. And the H2 would start talking about things like, you know, hey, it's going to look beautiful in your home, and it's going to be limited, and it's going to be like a one of few and in any size and perfect colors and blah, blah, blah. And as I go through it, I'm just going, yep. And then the more yeps that I can get, it's much like talking to a toddler, right? So when you're talking to a toddler and you're like, go clean your room, go do this, go do that, go do that. The more times you get them, then they go, yes. Eventually they do it. E-commerce customers are exactly like a toddler, right? But they're also like a toddler in essence. If they land on your website and if they are not getting lots of yeses and lots of like dopamine hits within the first 3 seconds, they're not scrolling and they're leaving. And that's why your conversion rate is what it is at the moment, because they're not engaged to go, oh, okay, I know that I'm in the right place now. I'll scroll down and I'll start reading everything else, right?
Yeah.
So
I guess it's hard because I think sometimes the visual has to lead, but then obviously messaging has to support it. So I guess that's why I've left it. And I'm sure that you guys can tell me this is wrong, but you know, that the sort of visual hit is the first thing you get. And then you scroll down and then you sort of hear more about what exactly it is and what it sort of does. Because it really is about how it feels in your space.
100%.
And the other thing is because it's made from photography, it's incredibly textural. So like the photos don't even do it justice. It's hard to explain, but it's very dimensional when you see it because it is made from photographic textures.
See all these things that you're saying, though, like you're kind of spitballing at me now. Like
Yeah.
if I had a short little sentence, and I mean we can still keep the site looking beautiful, but if there's like a circle here and here and here and here and here, and I'm like it's textured art because of blah blah blah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's keeping me engaged and it's making me promises, and I'm going to go, cool, I'm going to keep scrolling. Because what people need to realize is that brand messaging is very important for multiple reasons. Like the first thing is you want to be able to convey everything about your brand on your website as clearly as possible, and it needs to be promise driven. So you're making promises. But when you're on Meta ads and so forth, people are on Meta and they're scrolling through and they're looking at cat memes and all the other crap they're doing on Facebook. What you need to do on there is you need to do pain-based messaging, right? Because you need to take them away from pain on Facebook and bring them over to here. So like being consistent with that, you go, hey, like you know, like your ad on Facebook, for example, would be more along the lines of like, hey, it's Carrie here, and if you're sick of looking at boring drab walls in your lounge room, I want to show you something better, you know? And they go, oh, okay. So you've hooked them in, you've caught their attention, you've agitated some pains, you've agitated some problems, you bring them over to here and they go, great. But what's really important is that the message that starts over there continues over onto your website as well. So we spoke about this earlier with my team when I was talking about your brand, and like those videos that you're doing need to be longer and they need to be talking about what we're literally just talking about now. You know, like here's who I am, and they go, cool, I like her. Here's what the product is. I like the product. Here is the art. Here's why it's different. Here is the other 50 things that they need to be aware of. And then they go, all right, you've got me now. Now go to the website and then just go tick, 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 all those ticks in their head, and they go, happy days. You know,
it's a complicated story, so that's why I need the help. Yeah.
It is, right? So whereas if you compare to like Doug's site, you know, you go, hey, Doug does a video on Facebook. He's like, hi guys, I'm Doug. I make beautiful chopping boards out of reclaimed timber, and it's handmade. It's made by me. Here's me in my shed. Here's all the wood. People get it straight away. Do you know what I mean? However, that he's got tons of competition in that space. So you still need your brand messaging to be like on point so that they're going, again, I just keep repeating myself, but like tick, 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 tick. And the more ticks Doug gets, the more they go, yeah, cool, buy the product. So for example, like Doug's competing against a brand like this, right? So you land on a site like this, and I've got these chopping boards and I bought them and I didn't care what they cost because they're beautiful. But I'm like, the art of mindful gifting. I'm like, geez, that sounds great. So I bought these for like half my family, you know, and it's here to help you give, gather, and connect through gifting. Like, that sounds good. So I'm going tick, tick. And again, we didn't make this site. We just one I was looking at earlier because I was thinking about Doug's brand. Come down here and I'm like, it's artisan crafted. It's an Australian made. It's sustainable. So I'm going tick, tick, tick. Come down here. Oh, best sellers. Tick, 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 tick. So he's got the same problem as you, but it's a lot more easier to explain, right? So, so that's a very simplistic way of looking at it from a brand messaging perspective. Usually by now I would have had a H1 and a H2 for you, but I don't want to do it and not do it justice. So that's why you probably need to do it. You do it properly with Chris from our team. But if we keep scrolling down, so there are super obvious things that are missing. And I mean, you probably mentioned this anyway, you can't solve them, like social proof. You don't have reviews and stuff that you can put on the site at the moment.
I have got some further down if you keep scrolling, but I don't have like pictures of, I probably only got, if you scroll up just above those, there's my.
Oh yeah. How many would you have at the moment?
That's like literally all I've got. I've got through. Because I have sold a lot more artworks, but I sold them through exhibitions and through third party, like through Blue Thumb. And so, I didn't have direct access to people who were buying them previous to this. So
fair enough then.
And I just sold 7 in the last week, but they're all still being fulfilled. So
so you
still have something like hundreds of happy customers or hundreds of prints sold.
I can't go there yet.
Not quite that shows that there's volume and people like it.
If you've sold it via other people, you can.
What's that? Sorry.
If you've sold it via if you sold hundreds of pieces of art.
I haven't sold hundreds of pieces. I've sold, a dozen probably all up, and half of what I've sold has been very recent. So.
Okay. All right. Well, we won't use reviews then.
Yeah.
So, right?
Getting there.
Has your art been featured anywhere?
It was recently, it was picked up by someone. It was a affiliation through Blue Thumb. So it was just through an influencer basically.
Okay.
Yeah, but she only did a post and I didn't actually get a lot out of it in the end. But
Oh.
yeah, they paid for
So,
half my art. So
all this stuff will come in time, right? So what we're talking about here, from a conversion rate optimization perspective, when we build websites for people, like I like to think about a website in 5 parts. You've got your homepage, which is this is your homepage, or like this is Doug's homepage. Actually, no, that's a collection page. Here's Doug's homepage, and here is your product page. So like here's a collection page. On here, here's all the art and so forth. And on Doug's, Doug, you got a collection page somewhere? Yep, there you go. Everything is a collection page. And then you've got a product page. Now, when we build sites for people, there's about 200 to 300 different things that need to go into all of those pages in order to make them convert as good as it can. So this is where most people actually get this wrong. So for example, here's your product page, and I wouldn't normally do 2 at the same time, but like I think it's useful in this exercise. So here's Doug's product page, right? Now, for example, the biggest objection everyone's going to have is like, I know you've got shipping mentioned up there, but they're like, how much does it cost to get shipping? Right? So then they're going to go, hey, is it in stock? Is it ready to ship? Right? Hey, what about the reviews? Hey, how can I customize it? Hey, show me the types of wood that you can do here. So, but going through your page and looking at Doug's page, there's, like I said, there's 100 and something different things that need to go on there in order for it to convert. So the reason your conversion rate at the moment is as low as it is because it doesn't have them, right? So even on Doug's site, if we look here again, I've got no idea very quickly how quickly I'm going to get the product. You know, not so it's here. Most people aren't going to scroll down there until they see that. So it's going to take me 10 days until I get it, right? So, but you know, he's got breadcrumbs. He's got that. He's got no reviews. He's got add the cart button is the wrong color. You know, what are you doing over here? You've got a black add the cart button. That's fine. But people are going to have other objections about this as well, such as, let me think about what objections they'll have for a brand like yours. What do you reckon, Chris M or Chris V? What other things would be holding back here? I definitely think the social proof is like literally the biggest thing here. That's really missing.
Yeah, we've got the FOMO with the limited edition on those that are limited edition.
those ones are
Is that only ever 50 that you make?
50, depending on
Okay.
But
Yeah,
for my latest collection I've launched, they're not actually limited edition.
It's not.
No.
Okay, right. Yeah, interesting. Because
they're still made to order, but I did a course with another artist and basically she said that she removed limited edition and it made no difference to her sales. And it also limits, if I do want to sell on any third-party platforms, tracking inventory over multiple platforms is a real problem. So, yeah, it just means that I could open it up to have different suppliers even worldwide. So as I grow, if I decide to go international, I don't need to manage inventory across multiple suppliers.
In fact, it's POD, I guess, makes
everything's printed on demand, is it?
Yes. Yeah.
Is there any so one thing for me, I would want to know, how do I verify that I've got like 1 of 50? Is there a process for that? So again, as
signed and numbered.
They are signed. Yeah, you get a signed and numbered certificate of authenticity for my limited edition. But with the other ones, you don't. You just get a thank you card.
Okay. Yeah. So things that's starting to pop out for me, and again, why I'm saying these things is because you need to answer them on the homepage. So, for example, if I get the hugest version possible, does it get blurry or anything like that? You know, is that something that does it still maintain the definition as it becomes a bigger photo? You know,
well, I don't think that does because I'm a designer, so I wouldn't let something go out in the world that was like that. But yeah, maybe it needs some, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of digital art which is pixelated and it drives me nuts, but definitely not. It's like the highest quality, but maybe I need to show more detail shots.
Yeah, that would mess up because I've seen like there's some statics of like how you've cropped it out in Illustrator and how you've got the reference image next to it. So like that kind of content, like this is how I made it, and here's a little video of me taking the
Yeah.
image of the canyon, and I've cut out the
Yeah.
canyon to make this front of the leaf. Like
Yes,
that's
I've been
and
doing that
showing
a
that
little.
detail, like that stuff would be a thing that I go, now I'm also buying the process that
Yes,
made
yeah.
it.
I'm
It's
starting to
like
do
that's
that more on social media, but maybe I need to do it more in on my website too.
Well, one thing you should be doing is you're going to have layers of ads in meta ads, right? So the
Yeah.
first layer in your ad is like top of funnel stuff. So
Yeah.
top of funnel, for those of you that don't know what it is, they're like, they've never heard of Cara before. They go, who's this lady on my feed and what's she showing me? She's showing me her artwork, right? But as we go down to the bottom of the funnel, your later videos on social media can literally be like, hey, it's Cara here again. I'm going to go, and you're answering all their objections.
Yeah.
You can hang it on your wall yourself. You can
Yeah.
the large version doesn't go blurry. Like
Yeah.
you can go and get another framer to frame it. If it arrives damaged, we'll give you your money back.
Yeah.
If you don't love it when it arrives in person, we'll give you your money back. So
So,
handling, yeah, literally
yeah.
handling like all of their
Yeah.
rejections
Yeah.
before they even get to your website. And then again, while you've done that, people always have these subconscious, like, fears in their head when it comes to shopping. So again, if you're like knocking them all out, you go, okay, all the pain's gone before they hit the website. And now they go to the website, and then we're repeating it all again with all the promises. And we're just going tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
They're sitting there and they go, well, I'll quick add the cart now because I'm good to go.
Yeah. I think I've got a lot of those things that exist in some of my ads and my social media, but not all on my website.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So, and again, like for those of you that are on this call that are like brand new and they're sitting there going, far out, he's talking about some pretty fancy stuff here. Like it's not applicable to me. Like similar stuff applies to Doug. I'm like, mate, what if it rocks up Doug and it's broken? You'll go, I'll send you your money back. You go, oh, cool.
that's actually Caroline's business, not Doug's.
I thought it was Doug
Why Doug
business.
was asking if there was another Doug on the call.
Oh.
Chunky Timbers is Caroline, but Caroline's not here anymore.
All right. Okay.
I think Doug was confused because that's not my business.
Wasn't there a guy in the swear to God, there was a guy in Shopify Australia yesterday. He looked exactly like you, Doug, but he had a chopping board business.
This all
Different
makes
guy.
a whole lot more sense.
You know who I'm talking about, Chris?
Mm.
The
Yeah.
bloke. What was that brand? Anyway, whoever. To my point, people have the same objections. They're sitting there going, okay, how big is it? What if it's broken? Do other people like it? What if I don't like it? Rah, 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 rah. So again, to my point, like this page, when it's done properly, you should have there's like 100 different things that are going on this page. Even the images alone, right? So I've got a whole process that when I teach brands that I'm working with that are doing 6, 7, and 8 figures in revenue a year, our image optimization process has like 100 steps in it, just on the image, let alone the page itself, right? So I'm like, if you're holding your product, hold it in your right hand because right hands convert better and so forth, right? There's a whole bunch of different things in there. So, but we'll go back to this side and have a look at the start again. So there isn't much in the way of brand messaging, obviously, on here. There's no real big promise at the start. There's no H2, there's no anything. There's just photos, right? So again, and the example that's doing this well would be like these guys. You go in there and you're like, yep, bang, 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 bang. Cool. I'm in the right place. This one. Cool. Here's the best selling products. I go to the product page. I'm here and I'm like, 121 reviews. I don't know what's going on with that number. I can see the colors, beautiful photos. I can get it engraved. I can add it to cart. I need it fast, blah, blah, blah. Like all these kind of things as well. This is, again, we didn't make this particular site, but comparing this site to the other site, it's pretty well done. So what I'll do now for you would be, I'm going to just load up a whiteboard. So the order in which I would fix these things for you would be, 1 second. Because you're already doing so much right. Like you got beautiful art. What order do we fix things? So my Zoom is being weird. Whiteboard. Oh, that's not the one. Existing whiteboard. Here we go. Bear with me. My Zoom is doing something strange. Of course it's going to do that. Try again. Existing whiteboard. Chris, can you do me a favor? Can you see if you can, for some reason, the fast path plan is not loading for me at all. So can you share your screen? Does that work? Right, your end?
Yeah, you might have to screen share first.
I don't know why it's not working. It's worked every other time I've tried this. I'm about to try again. Or you try.
40K workshop.
Yeah, it's just mine's blank. So what's going on with it? All right, cool. So hopefully I can draw on this. There we go. Good. This should work. Can I make this bigger? Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, cool. Good to go. All right, bear with us, guys. This is our first day on the internet. Can you move it to the right a bit, Chris? I don't know what's going on. Chase, you're going to have to give me, this is not going to look very artistic. So a bit more to the right, Chris. Another centimeter. Bit more. Bit more. Let's go. More.
That's off my screen.
Oh, God. All right, cool. So here's what you need to fix, and here's the order that you need to fix it in. So number one, you have to nail your brand message, all right? And again, the reason you need to is because you said a bunch of things to me as we're going through this process that aren't in the website and they weren't in your ad at all, right?
Yeah.
So this is the story component that we need to fix. And most people sleep on this because they think that I've got a good product and I've kind of made a website and I've kind of done this and and go, why isn't it selling? And the number one reason that occurs is because you don't have a really strong story, right? Now, number two that you need to work on is you've already got an okay website, but it's missing lots of conversion elements, right? If it had all of the conversion elements, people are more likely to convert, right? So, and this is the order. So store and then story in the story is fix those two in that order. And this is applicable to everybody that's also on this. As you guys start getting into the e-commerce industry and so forth, and you go find the great product, you can sell just about anything on the internet as long as you've got a really, really good story, right? So I often use the analogy that most people, you know, like a lot of us at some point were single, right? We didn't have partners and so forth. And then at some point we had a partner, got married. But when we're going through the dating process, right, we're all out there and we're all like trying to find, you know, an amazing partner. Those of us that were successful, we had a really good story and we converted really well, right? And the reason we converted well is because we told a good story about what we wanted from our life moving forward, and we dressed good, right? And because we dressed good and we spoke good, we converted good, right? But if we didn't do that and we went out on dates and we were wearing like, you know, tracksuit pants and Crocs and stuff, and we didn't tell a very good story and didn't look good, we didn't convert. But most people's e-commerce websites are kind of like that. So I say to everyone, you need to make sure that you got a great story and you look as good as possible from the beginning, right? Because if you do those two things, you're going to sell a lot more stuff. So that's why I say to everyone, nail this, nail this. Now, then the next step for you, I know you're already doing meta ads and so forth, but once you nail your story, and now that you've got a website that actually is built to convert, you will be able to go and run your meta ads properly, and you'll be able to tell this story in your ads. You'll be able to send traffic to your website and it'll convert way better. You probably get a conversion rate of like, you know, 3, 4, 5% or something. So for you, game changer if that occurs, right? If you can't do that, then you can't scale your ads and you'll just be like burning money forever, right? So the other reason, especially for you, Carrie, is like you want other people to be telling your story for you, right? So everyone else is out there and go, hey, I bought this piece from her, and they repeat the words on your website, and then other people go to your website and are like, oh yeah, that's what Chris said. That's why I'm here. I'll buy, blah, 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 blah. Not like rocking up to your site and like, I'm confused. I'm not sure I can get this stuff anywhere. And you go, you can't, right?
Yeah.
So then once you do this, then you just scale this, right? So number one thing is obviously you fix this, you fix that, you're starting running meta ads. Next, you start running your email marketing. So what's going to happen? People will come to your site. They will leave your checkout which is already happening to you. Then they will enter your abandoned cart flows, right? So again, probably at the moment, you're probably saying things like, hey, Chris, thanks for heading to our website. Here's 10% off because you didn't check out, right? Excuse me for coughing. But, you know, you don't want to be saying stuff like that. You want to be nurturing them across all of your story and all of your social proof and all of the journey and how it's made and how it's created and rah, rah, rah. And then over time, email, you go, great. So because they didn't check out here, they've done that, they come over here and they'll check out again. So for a brand like yours, this is literally like the 4 things you just have to focus on at the moment. It's not like go and make more product. It's not go and go, let's just do Google ads and SEO and rah, 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 rah. None of that stuff, right? So especially if you're also going to be exhibiting and putting your art in other locations. Like,
Yeah.
it's absolutely critical that you nail this, because you want all these other locations to be talking about you, how you want them to talk about you,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I would go as far as saying, like, when you get third parties on board to sell your art and so forth,
Mm-hmm.
like, you as a designer and so forth, like, I'm sure you can make beautiful capability documents about the art, but giving them a document that has like all your brand messaging included in as well will be a game changer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is this making sense?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I
I think
making
that being
sense.
my own brand, it's like I can't see the wood through the trees. So
Mm,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
That's why you
helped
need someone like
to just
Chris.
distill it down. I've got lots to say, but I don't know what the
What's
sticking,
important?
what's going to really stick. Yeah.
Yeah, and most brands have that problem, right? And this is exactly like, this is why when we work with any brand, like, our process is, we fix your brand message, we fix your website, and
Yeah.
then we help you do a fast path plan. This is the fast
Mhm.
path plan of going, these are the next three things that you need to be doing, as
Yeah.
opposed to just doing, like, because most people, they go to Fiverr, they find a crappy website designer, they build a website, they go, oh, I've got a website, but it's not built to convert, doesn't say the right thing, rah, rah, and they're spinning their wheels forever. So, oh. Any questions about this stuff from anyone else on the call? Is this making sense to everybody? Got a few people, got like Monica and Doug and Lucy and Annette and so forth. Chris, you want to look at any other brands while we're here? We've got time, because I'm not going to.
Yeah, why not look at the other one that you liked as well?
Which one? We already did that, the chopping board one. Is there
Oh,
another
you
one?
don't want to go further into it? Nothing off the top of my head then. If we got time, everybody who liked what we just did, if you'd like us to have a look at your website, leave a link to it again, and we'll pick another one that we see. I know
Everyone
a few
else,
people dropped them earlier
there's
before.
retrowink.com.au. That could be a good one to look at. If Luke
Retro
doesn't want
that
to,
one.
You bring it up, Chris, and you can talk about the brand for a second. You could screen share. I'll jump in.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm still so confused. I swear to God, Doug's twin brother is in the Shopify group and he sells chopping boards. I'm gonna have to go check out what's going on there. So,
we're doing retrowink, and we can.
let's have a look here. Create smiles. Well, that's a good promise straight away. Surprise loved ones. Okay. Let's have a look. So you're in the whose brand is this, by the way? It's Money. No, it's that's right. No worries. Over to you, Chris. What do you think? Scroll down for a second. Let's have a look. Something to do with surfing. Retro charm with it's Luca. Do you want to come up mute, Luca?
So it's retro gifts. It's like retro cameras, retro vibe, cassette player kind of stuff.
So there's a brand story. So there's something there. Gift hampers. It's selling a bit of everything, right? So
Yeah.
that's a problem in itself. When you come to someone's website, like, it needs to be immediately clear about what is the big problem that you solve for that person. And within 2 to 3 seconds, it's like, I want you to buy this thing, right? So you don't want them to be, it's either a product or it's a group of products. So it looks like you've got a whole bunch of words and stuff going on the site around, like, buy retro photo cameras and rah, rah, rah. But it's kind of just not hitting the mark, I think, for me. And the reason being, like, we spoke about things like trust signals and stuff like that. So that's not immediately obvious of, like, what I'm there for.
Yeah, so even here we're looking at kind of random stock images and there's retro charm. It's still not saying like what actually is it? Like what am I actually shopping for here? Until we kind of get down here and I start to figure it out for myself that it's retro gifts. And obviously, I mean, for me, it's fairly obvious that you're kind of drop shipping, maybe, because these are all like very different product image styles.
Feels drop shipping kind of business, yeah.
And then Like there's definitely like in terms of palette and design and brand, it's like very strong retro. You got the nice faded retro, muted tones. So there's a story here, but the what am I actually buying part for me is the part that's not super clear. Like I'm making memories with what or how or why. I'm surprising loved ones with what, with how, with why. So that story, that H1 and H2 that Paul mentioned earlier, what it is, what's the promise, why should I want to buy it? Is it for me? That part isn't super clear. And even here, I'm kind of thinking like, is it vinyl? Is it a vinyl store? Because retro and there's a vinyl.
The records playing kind of thing. Yeah.
So that part, and then it kind of I drop in here now. It's just random like Santa-y, Christmassy, dropshippy stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's just because I'm not clear on the brand and the purpose and the why. The stuff feels a bit. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So what Chris is trying to say is like you want to just get very clear on the number one thing. You want to get very clear on who you serve in the market, right? So most people have a problem, right? And they're online and they're wherever they're sitting, they're on Facebook or they're just browsing around the internet and they're like, they go, I've got a problem or I've got a feeling or I've got an emotion that I'm trying to trigger or solve, right? So for example, if you're trying to get people to go, hey, remember like back in the 80s when you could like take old photos and they look like this and so forth, you go, we're the store for you. You know, we sell 6 different types of cameras that enable you to go and recapture the moments like you did back in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. And people go, oh, yeah, great. Yeah, I want that thing. Right. And then we start getting into all the social proof kind of stuff. We spoke about, hey, we got 100 reviews. We've been featured in like some camera magazine. You know, these professional photographers use our products, blah, 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 blah. And people start going, yeah, great. I'm in the right spot. And then they'll start going, cool, now show me the products. And that's when we start getting into all the conversion rate optimization things. So if Chris goes to a product page, yeah, we'll have a quick look at that. Just stop scrolling up and down a bit. So here, for example, Moonlight Christmas Melodies Free. What is this? I don't even know what that is. What's the product? Can you pick another product?
The music player or something. Yeah.
Lots of confusion around what it is. So let's pick one.
Headphones.
Headphones, maybe. Yeah. Are these photos real or are they AI photos or something? It's kind of like it's you can see where I'm going with this. I'm quite confused about what it is. So
retro, is it a cup and it doesn't say headphones in the product title? Like there's a lot of just unclarity about what it is. It's a coaster and some headphones and a copper cup and a headphone stand. Like it's a weird combination of stuff. Like just the clarity around what it actually is and why I want to buy it is the main thing would be stopping people from shopping here.
Looks like you can personalize whatever it is. I mean, so that's
okay, so it's a bunch of stuff. So this is like a bundle.
Yeah,
you get headphones, a headphone stand, a copper mug, and a coaster. I guess that goes together.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it feels very dropshippy. It feels very AI. It feels very not sure what it actually is.
So a bit of work to do on this one. So it's early for this person.
That's not dropshipping. Okay.
There is a story for every hamper. Yeah. Okay. Righto. I wonder if that's going to become hard to do then, given that if every hamper has a different story, trying to articulate on the homepage like one overarching story is going to be hard work. You know, and we should just go, hey, we just sell hampers, you know, and they're retro and so forth. It just becomes hard to do. So we can jam on this as well.
A couple of days ago.
Yeah, so we can have.
Yeah, so I'm just reading in the chats and they just started a few days ago, so it's very new.
Yeah, no worries. Anyone else on the call have any questions about anything? You got Lucy or Monica or Doug? You guys have any questions? No, Annette, no,
I
all
do.
good.
I
You
do
do?
have a question.
Yeah.
I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm taking copious notes. My website went live yesterday, but there's still work to be done. And I make soap. I'm not sure what my story is.
Okay. What's your website address, Monica?
It's rawsoaps.com.au.
Okay. All right. Oh, interesting. Let's have a look at this one. So I will share my screen. We've actually worked with a lady that makes soaps, and she's crushing it now. So in the right spot. Black raspberry vanilla sweetness. So explain the products to me then. So it's all natural soap. Soap the way intended. Why is your soap different to everybody else's soap, Monica?
Well, I don't know that it is. It's
Don't say that then.
Don't put that on the headline.
Don't put that on the website.
Well, they're all handmade. They're all small batches. There's no two alike. I use only natural products, no artificial. Somewhere on there you'll find what there isn't in it at the bottom there. I use no chemicals. And each soap, if you clicked on hypothetically one, has a bio, so to speak.
Yeah, right. Okay. Looks nice. I'll show you what. This is a super easy one. So here's one of our amazing clients, Hench. So she also sells soap. She also makes soap, and she's doing like 20 grand a month now of soap. So she now has the problem that she's making too much soap because she's got to make it all. But when she started, she's like called a year ago. She's just like, I just sell soap. Paul. Like, who do you sell soap to? Everybody. Like, I don't think you should sell it to everybody. So over time, we pivoted and we go, hey, Hench, it's a natural soap for blokes to get their hands dirty. So she's now targeting men. It's powerful ingredients. It's rugged scents. It's no nonsense skincare. It is made for hardworking men. It's natural and no nonsense. And obviously, you can see all this other stuff, tough on dirt, sweat, and grime, yet gentle on the skin. Bold scents, long lasting, 5-star, 600 plus 5-star reviews, tough soap for tough blokes. So, as I've spoken about on the call, as you start reading through here, you go tick, like assuming I was a tough man and I'm a tough man, and I'm not, I'm a bit of a soft one, like Chris and Chris. But if we weren't and we read this and would go tick, tick, yes, 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 that's us, right? So that's why we'd buy the product. But if we just landed on there and it's like, hi, it's Jody, isn't it, Chris, that run this? Yeah, Jody. Yeah. It's like, hi, I'm Jody, and I sell soap to everybody, and you smell nice. People go, well, I can buy that from everywhere. So to my point, her brand message now speaks to men, obviously, but a certain type of man, right? So for you, the number one thing, I'm not necessarily saying that you need to be like, hey, we make soap for women, young women, old women, young men, old men, whatever. But you have to find your audience, who you're trying to speak to, and just go nail that audience. Right? Number one thing. So that audience can also be around the fact that, you make soaps that are just completely different. I mean, these are super artistic. Like, the colors of these soap is like, so unique in itself. I've never seen soap like this. My brother worked for a soap company years ago, so it's like, how do we lean into this thing that looks like it almost looks edible? It looks so good. You know what I mean? I probably wouldn't say that in the ad, but you can see where I'm going from this. It's like, how do you bring the excitement out of people that just go, soap's boring, but yours is not?
Well, I'm an ex-chef, so I swapped cooking food for cooking soap.
Okay.
And that might be where the creativity comes from. Anything that's not that creative is a mistake.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So
I mean, all that needs to go in your messaging.
Yeah.
What?
That's your point of difference, is your attitude and your history and why you make it the way you make it.
Okay, thank you.
And then moving forward, like, you over time, you need a site like Jody's site. So the reason I say that is because like Jody's site converts at like 5% or something. So that means what 5 people in every 100 people who go to her website buy something from her, right? But most people on this call, right, you've got a conversion rate of 1% or under, right? So that means 1% of people who come to your website convert. So this becomes a massive issue over time if you don't fix this problem. Like I'll do some maths here. I'll show you why this matters and why it's so important. So for example, let's assume we're talking about Jody's site again. And so hench.com.au gets, actually, no, what? We're going to do this for Carrie's site. Carrie gets, has 1,000 visitors a month to her site. It converts at 1%, just to keep it easy, 1%. Her average order value is, what's your average order value at the moment, Harry?
It's 1.5 grand. So 1,500.
Yeah, cool. Okay. How much is she making?
And I think the conversion rate's 0.33%, we said, Carrie?
Yeah, 0.33 was for the month it was, yeah.
Yeah. If you want to get specific, may as well.
So we'll use specific things, right? So this is going to work out how much money she's making at the moment if she had 1,000 visitors coming at the moment. So she had 1,000 people, converts at 33%, and her average order value is $1,500. She's making $5,000 a month. Now, but what if we improved her conversion rate to 6% and her average order value was now $1,950? Don't mind my typing. How much money does she now make a month? Why this is so important? Because I'm going to show you how much this affects it over the course of a year. I mean, as if that wasn't bad enough already. Like at the moment, she's making $5 grand. If she fixed those two numbers, she'd make $117,000. These are big numbers, right? But now if we stay the same over 12 months, how much money does Carrie lose a month? Annually. Again, these are big numbers. So even for you smaller brands, you'd be able to go, oh, well, that's a pretty big, significant problem. So improve, there's 1.4. So if Carrie does nothing with it and keeps her existing site as is with her 0.3% conversion and that average order value and doesn't try and get it to point whatever it was, 5 and the higher average order value, she's going to lose $1.3 million a year. So same with you guys, right? So if we do this for Monica, so Monica has 1,000 visitors a month to her site. Her AOV is $50. Her conversion rate is 1%. How much does she make? And this is probably actually going to be factual at the moment. With this particular website, it's probably going to convert like this. Your conversion rate is probably going to be pretty low, I think. Whereas if Monica, this conversion rate was 6% and her average order value was $97. I think, do you have any idea what Jody's conversion rate is, Chris? I think it's like $60 or something. All right. And she gets 1,000 visitors a month. How much money could she be making over 12 months? You'll see this is night and day. You've gone from like hundreds of dollars a month, right? Versus this to like $70,000 a year. Big difference just by changing two numbers. And these two numbers three numbers come from better brand messaging, website that converts better, and people buying more stuff.
So
simple as that, right?
can I ask, where do you put your story?
On
the website or on your socials?
Everywhere.
Everywhere you're communicating with the customer.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you look at Jody's site, for example, like you go here, like it starts there, it goes there, continues here, goes through there, goes through here, goes, all this is part of the brand story, goes into here, goes down into here, goes in all of your stuff as well. I don't normally do this, but I'll show you something. So when you do a brand communication process with us properly, takes us a good like 6 hours, and I'll show you why. This is things that everyone absolutely needs to nail. So for example, this is the process that people go through with Chris. So see all these tabs down here on my screen? Inside of all of those tabs, we're like, here is your why. Why are you doing what you do in your business, right? What are your personal values that you're doing that you personally have? What are the brand values that you have? What is the voice of this brand, right? So how does it, what do you want it to sound like? What's the personality of the brand? What are the characteristics of the brand? What is the persona of the brand? So Carrie's brand might be like, hey, this way, the personality of the brand, she is 35 years old. She makes 300 grand a year. She is a mum. She's super creative. She's that, rah, 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 rah. Because you're taking all of that. And then over time, you go, well, okay, that's our brand. And now what is the definition of who we're trying to talk to? Like, and what is our ideal customer look like? So when they're online, like what problems do they have? Right? What does the journey look like? I mean, I won't go through all of this, but you get really, really, really clear on like who we are, what we say, and who we say it to. Right? And that's what formed your brand communication strategy. And to answer your question again, Monica, it goes everywhere. Everywhere you talk about your brand, your email, your socials, your blogs, your articles, your website, offline. If you do events, markets and stuff, it's mentioned there, right? It becomes the whole voice of your brand, basically.
Gotcha. Thank you very much.
No worries. All right.
Another quick one for you, Monica. You need to put sizes on your site because I have no idea how much soap I'm buying. It just shows soap and says $5, and then I buy it and I don't know how much soap I just bought.
True. I understand. I'm dealing with a developer.
Oh.
Put it in the product title. It's raw soap, 150 gram. And I go, that's how much I'm buying. Because at the moment, I don't know what my $5 actually gets me.
He's doing the bits I can't do, and then I'm coming in through the back end, and like I'm doing the information about each soap, what they're made out of. I will add a weight. Thanks for that.
Excellent. Sorry, you messaged me in the other chat there, 120 grams. Cool. All right.
Thank you.
Move on, Paul?
Yeah, all right, back to you. I hope this has been helpful, guys. I know we jumped around a lot. This has been an interesting session. It's been a challenging one with the art stuff for me. So usually it's way easier. Like you sell dog collars to someone who's got a dog that runs away. You know what I mean? It's very clear. So
hopefully as we have gone through all of this process, it's really clear for you all what your story is, what your store is, and what your strategy is, and how to fix that. So can I get a hands up? Is that clear? Can I get a head nod? Something in the chat. Is it clear that these are the 3 pillars you need to fix, and in what order you as a business owner need to fix them? Yeah, story is everything. I full-heartedly agree, Chris. And excellent name as well. Yeah, good. So quickly, we're going to get you to rate yourself. And Chris just rated himself and said, story is everything. But so first up, your store. How many of you think your store is absolutely crushing it? Would you give it, and just drop green, yellow, or red in the chat for your store? What do you reckon? Does it need some love? Are you crushing it, or does it need a fix ASAP?
Red's obviously bad, guys. If you're like, oh my God, I think mine's a train wreck now. Chuck a red in there.
Train wreck, that's a red. Fix, please. Yep, and it needs a fix. Yellow, some yellows, some reds. Red. Okay, excellent. Lots of reds and yellows. What about your story? How do we think our story is connecting? Or do we not have a story that's not connecting to anyone? Again, green, yellow, red. What do we reckon? Red, yellow, red. Lots of yellows and reds. Excellent, thank you. And strategy. Do you know what to do next? Do you know where to focus? Do you know what to do, when to do it, what order to do it in? Red. No, that's a red for a net. All right, so a lot of people in the red and yellows. Awesome. I mean, not awesome, but awesome for you because you're in the right place to get it fixed. So just imagine for a second, a few months from now, 2026 rolls through and you've dialed all of those things in. You've got greens across the board. If you were able to do that, do you think that your business would start to work the way that you want it to work? Let us know in the chat.
Yeah,
Would fixing these things be beneficial? Finally get you on track, get you headed towards where you want to go? Yes, I do. Yes, awesome. Fantastic. Martin, 100%. So if you would like some help to get those yeses, to turn those reds and yellows into greens over the next little while, we're inviting you to book in a personal fast path plan. So exactly what we've done on the call this evening for Carrie and Monica, and the chopping board brand, Caroline, not Doug. If you'd like a personalized 90-day roadmap and you'd like us to run through that exact process with you on a live 30-minute call with our team, that is not Doug. Yeah, we run through this exact process, figure out exactly where you are in your particular business, what your goals are, what you should be focusing on, and mapping this out for you over the next 8 weeks. If that sounds like something that would be helpful, Chris has just dropped a link in the chat where you can go and book that call. Right, this is going to help you stop wasting time. This is going to help you stop trying to figure it out for yourself. This is going to stop you from doing all of the things that aren't actually moving the needle in your business. This will give you that 90-day plan of just do this stuff. Focus on these things for your particular business. So drop in the link there. Go to that fast path plan link there. There's a bit of a video there, a bit of an introduction, answer some questions, book that call in. That just gives us information about who you are, what your business is, where your business is at, what you're hoping to achieve, so that we can really position that call properly to best help you. So let us know when you've gone and dropped in there, and we'll help you map out that fast path plan for those of you that feel like you'd like a bit of extra help. Basically, anyone that's had yellows and reds in any of those areas, this call will help you get really clear on how to make them all green and get those greens running across the board.
And the reason we do these calls, honestly, as well, is because, like Chris mentioned, I've been in e-commerce way too long now, and I just want to make sure you guys all get the best start or the continued momentum that you should have, rather than going and following all the YouTube gurus that are teaching you nonsense and TikTok and all the other crap out there. So whether or not you work with us or not, we'll go to the call and go, here's what I would do if I was you, and you should probably listen, because it's probably the same process that we do for every other brand. And you guys will go, thanks so much. And for those of you that are like, feels good, how can we work together? Then we'll talk about how much that, how it works, obviously. But no pressure, no hard sales. It's really just like, put you guys on the right path that you should be on, and then make sure, a year from now, 2 years from now, you guys are like, yeah, I worked with those guys, or I didn't, but either way, like, they helped me on my journey. That's all. That's why we do this. So, one other favor to ask. We appreciate everyone that's come to this call tonight. Chris and Roxy will just drop a link to a review thing that we'll put down into the chat there. So if you have had a good time tonight, we'd love it if you can say some nice words, because we're going to put that in the ads and so forth that other people will say. So appreciate you all coming, and I'm happy to hang around another 10 minutes or so. If you guys have any questions, I can answer them, for those of you that didn't get an opportunity to ask anything. So if you've got any pressing questions you want to fire at me, go for it. That's what we're here for. Thanks, Harry. Awesome. Doug, you good? Lucy, good? Annette? Alrighty. Okay, cool. Well, we'll end it then, and we'll see you inside of our eCom Circle community soon. Thanks, guys. See you. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.